question number 2, question number 1. Okay. 5 and then post it. Okay, recap 9, 1 9 is equal to constant time times the temperature. Okay, energy, because energy is the capacity to work in definition, so we need to equate that one. So automatically, the unit of work is okay, like that. So in Newton meter also, that is the unit work. The equation unit also, 1 calorie is equal to 4.124 joules. Remember that one also, because this is very useful also in the combination of the heat as a changing unit is Q. Okay, heat also can be equated to energy, mechanical energy, something like that. So all those are okay. Going to question number 2. The question number 2, actually solve this one. I would like to share. Okay. So I have a wrong answer somewhere in my college. The unit for that. Turning left, my point something one. I will write like to make it more convenient for us. So number 2. Gosh. Oh, this is green. A liter of water. How heavy is the water content? Answer will be, let's find out. Okay. 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 A letter A is full of water content. Okay. So you write the solution. So given are those mentioned in the problems. It could be written in a numerical figure with a units, or it could be a variables through physical properties, temperature, pressure, volume, blah blah blah. Okay, like that. Here, the problem doesn't mention how many liters. Like me also, that would be confused. So music mention, it's a tricky part also. For those who already know technique, good for you, but sometimes others will. Supposedly it should be a 1 letter A, like the problem states only 1 letter A, but of course, okay, in a pail. So this means that there is 1 letter in a pail of water content. This one. Look at the first chapter like that. And did that even mention what's inside the pail? Okay? It just mentioned in the confusion. Pail meaning did not mention immediately what's inside the pail. But the question states how heavy. Again, English. How heavy? So meaning to say heavy. So the term also matters a lot because the students also okay. Okay, this respect to this focusing like it depends on the full of gravity, acceleration thing, okay? Or gravity thing, something like that. Acceleration due to gravity is just the gravity, okay? Blah 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 blah. It's not stating like that. So a lot we should analyze. It's not the how heavy. So how heavy the water? Because there's no such difficult to answer. Okay, this is rare. Okay, but the way how it's being analyzed is, shall I say, difficult. At first, difficult for me in reading this one time. I said, wait a second. can readily in one letter the volume of the water. So the mass is being asked. Now we have that is density is equal to mass over volume. Okay? Like that. Density is equal to mass over volume. We have to find for the value of volume and the density. And I don't have to show because it's very easy. So this you can get now the answer because there's no density given, which is one letter to a standard reference temperature pressure standard condition. Okay, that will never change. It is understood to be 1 grams per ml, right? So you should remember that the density of water at standard condition temperature and pressure is always 1 grams per ml unless it is being mentioned to the particular reference temperature. It is not mentioned, it is automatic that we use the value of 1 grams per ml at standard temperature and pressure. At standard, all I know that is the standard condition is 1. The volume which is 1 letter. Okay. Volume is equal to density, the compatibility of the unit, the liter and the ml. Okay, already standard. Okay. So 1, okay, the 1,000 grams. Another cc, cubic grams per ml. Okay. Cancel. Okay. So it's to centimeter. Okay. 1,000. Volume is 1 liter. Okay. And then since your volume is liter, use the density of water in terms of grams per liter. Okay. Let's see if it is equal to 1,000 grams. Is it obtain 1,000 grams? Are you still there? It was interrupted. Sorry for that. Okay. So this one. This is compatibility of the unit. Okay. Our density is in gram, 1 gram per ml. Our volume is liter. So we need to change the density in terms of per liter. Okay, it's the reverse of the other one because in the other one we convert the volume into ml just to be compatible with the density in terms of grams per ml. Just the same. Let's see. So 1,000 grams. 1,000 grams. Is equals to 1 kilogram. Like this, 1,000 ml is to 1 liter, and multiplied by 1 liter, like this. We convert this to grams. Again, so cancel. So cancel, like this. Our answer will be in terms of kilogram. Okay? In terms of kilogram, let's say it will agree to our first answer. We need to find out. Okay? So 1,000 divided by 1,000. 1 kilogram. Okay? So it's just the same, see? 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram is also 1,000 grams. Okay? Answer here is also 1,000 grams. Okay, since 1,000 grams is equals to 1 kilogram, this is equal, right? Try to solve it by yourself. It is okay. Okay. Again, the problem is one liter pail is full of water, neglecting the weight of the pail. How heavy is the water content? So we can solve for the mass from the formula. Density equals the mass over volume. So mass equals density times volume. We have the density in terms of 1 grams per ml. We have our volume in terms of 1 liter. Okay. And then we need to convert the density in terms of grams per liter. Okay, like that. So this is the conversion now. And then we have to prove another thing also. Okay, another last, still the same problem. I was proving. Okay, the two conversion would yield the same answer, which is 1,000 grams. Let's say the other one. By using density which is equal to 1 grams per liter. Okay, like that. Density 1 grams. Convert this to 1 grams per liter. Okay, so 1 grams ml. So 1,000 ml is equals to 1 liter. So this will be our density in terms of grams per liter. So 1,000 grams per liter. 1 grams per ml. Okay, convert that to grams per liter. So 1 gram per ml. So 1,000 ml is 1 liter. So therefore, 1,000 grams. Okay. And so we have now our density in terms of. Check this one. Our density. Oh my gosh. Our density is at standard condition is 1 grams per ml. Convert to grams per liter. So there is 1,000 ml in 1 liter. So we have now 1,000 grams. Okay, and we multiply this to mass. Oh no, volume, sorry. Is it? Because we find the mass. Sorry. So density 1,000 grams per liter times 1 liter. Okay, then 1,000 grams. Answer. Yes, still 1,000 grams. The answer is still 1,000 grams. Even if you use different 3 types of conversion, then you convert the density first and then multiply to the volume, or either you convert first the volume just to agree the density. As long as it is compatible unit, it will yield the same answer. So in this 3, I prove 3 different conversions, it will yield 1 kilogram or 1,000 grams is the answer of this question. This one. Okay? Like that. So, question number 3. Oh my gosh. Okay na tayo sa question number 2. Question number 3. Don't worry, there are also direct conversion, but we need to emphasize too much formulas to be used. Okay? Oh my gosh. Question number 3 is all about 1 horsepower, how many watts? This is basic electricity principle. In physics also, this has been discussed if you are just listening to your instructor, because this is very basic in physics. 1 horsepower, how many watts? You don't have to consult textbooks already because it will just consume. It will eat it up your time. You should memorize this, okay? Because a lot of examinations are not open books. And not open data also in Google during examination. You cannot use the data. So how can you do that? Of course, you will memorize. No other choice. Okay? So if you memorize this for 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time, it will never be erased in your mind until 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Okay? Like that. It will retain because our brain has 80% information retention, something like that. It will retain to your brain. Have the ability to retain words, information, numerical figure, symbols, everything. So our brain is very powerful. Then just try to memorize this 3 times, 4 times. It will just accumulate to your brain. Okay? It will never lost. So this is 746 watts. 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. And this is very useful in computing the wattage of your electrical belly, electrical consumption of your household electricity used in your home. Okay, so that you will not be cheated by the electricity provider in your community. Okay, you have to compute for the how many wattage that your house will consume, then counting all the appliances, okay, machines, everything. Check at the back of the equipment that's being reflected and displayed there, how many watts, and then multiply blah 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 so and so, and do the conversion in terms of how many hours it will consume with this corresponding watts. Then total it, itemize it, and then you can sum it in a month, in 2 months, or like that, and then you can get wattage, total wattage in relation to how much you will pay your electricity daily in 1 month, like that. If you know the conversion in the in your receipt, electrical bill receipt, okay. So if you have this knowledge, 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts, because this is always the conversion of electrical consumption, watts. Okay, watts per hour, watts per second. Okay, like that. And you can per let's say 2 pesos watts, 2 pesos watts per hour. The cost of electricity. And then you have to multiply blah 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 so on. So use the conversion factor, and you can get electrical consumption. Okay, since most of the household or the owner of the house. Okay, very lazy to compute this one. You will just leave the electricity provider will compute, the company of the electrical energy provider will compute how much electrical consumption we have. Okay, but others are very clever enough. They will just compute and count how many appliances they have, and then they have also the meter of the of this installed in your house. You will check how many wattage is being used up, and taking the reference point, for example, January, and then you start your initial reference point with that watts, and then February, last, okay, and you have to sum up that watts, and then multiply to the watts in pesos, in dollars per hour, blah blah blah, and you can get it, okay? We don't know the electrical energy provider or the electricity provider will also be room in their computation. Okay? Like that. So 1 horsepower is equals to 746 watts. That is very useful in electrical energy billing consumption or electricity consumption in your home. For the vehicle, like that, or whatever. Okay, this question number 2 is very easy. Direct conversion factor through memorization. Number 3. Or number 4. How many horsepower is 746 kilowatts? We still use that conversion factor. Okay, how many? The purpose of this problem is to practice your mind to convert simpler units. Okay, so that if there are difficult units, you can easily adjust. All difficult units are coming from the basic units. Okay, so concentrate to the most basic unit, the simpler units, and then later on, you can easily understand to the difficult units or complicated units, something like that. The purpose of this, actually, no need to do this because this is just, shall I say, simple. Okay. But the problem is if you don't know the conversion factor, it will be difficult for you because you did not memorize. Like that. It should be the power of memory plus the analysis. Okay? You know analysis? Actual analysis of the problems plus the memory. Okay? Sometimes they are good in analysis and they don't have the formulas. Okay? So you will keep on finding the formulas or the constants in the book. Okay, when you solve the problem, but very good analysis. Then during actual examination, it will be in trouble because time pressure, at the same time, no open books, no open mobile data. How can you Google Chrome? Okay, the conversion of those basic units. Okay, so you should have memory, the power of your memory plus the power of your analysis, something like that. Then, since it is an examination, you have to have an adequate preparation prior to the actual examination. Okay? Adequate preparation. Okay, something like that. So, you will memorize all the formulas, all the equations. Okay, then the basic one you should memorize. Then, if day by day you will encounter difficult formulas and equations, then you have to write it down in a piece of paper and then memorize it slowly. Okay? Then do not go back to the simpler one. Memorize the basic one. And then if you encounter another formula that is difficult for you, then memorize it also. Okay? That's the technique in examination. Okay? Then if it is also difficult for you, you memorize already your formulas, but still the actual examination, you cannot understand because it was not being taught the formulas there in the problems. Then you have to connect the formulas in order you can derive your own formula. Okay? As I discussed a while ago, I discussed by deriving your own formula. Just like me last 2 days ago, okay, there's one chemical reaction, and I researched that in the Google Chrome, okay, in the net, and I could not found. It's not being discussed. Even the YouTube videos, nothing. So what I did, I connect the basic principles that is going to be the product if you add this compound to another one, and then it was successful. Because the identification of chemical reaction, if it is balanced, then your products are correct. Okay? If it is not balanced, your chemical reaction is not correct. Okay? And then you identify, for example, if a compound contains carbon and oxygen, it is understood that there are also oxygen and carbon when during decomposition and split of molecules. Okay? Like that. Okay? That's analysis already. Okay? Because it is not taught comprehensively during your high school days, your college days, or whatever. Okay? Take note, there are a lot like that, especially in the board examination. Okay? Somewhere in the question number 80, you will be shocked. Okay, because what's this? I don't encounter this problem. Okay, and then you will make your own. You will make your own formula, something like that. Okay, you will derive your own formula basing on all the basic formulas that you had memorized. Okay, yesterday I cite example, right? For example, energy. Okay, energy is the capacity to do work. And then work has the formula force times distance. So that means the unit of work is equal to the unit of energy. The unit of energy is in terms of joules. Now, if the problem mentioned the word joules in the problem, that means that is automatically the energy or the work. But it was not mentioned. You will use the formula force times distance. because it's not discussed in high school or in college that energy is equal to force times distance. Again, it was not discussed in high school or in college education that energy is equals to force times distance. It is always work is equals to force times distance. Okay, then it's up to you through basic knowledge that energy is the capacity to do work. Therefore, I conclude energy is equals to work. Then therefore, I conclude the unit of work is equal also to the unit of energy in terms of joules. So that is Newton meter in English system. Okay, now there is also another formulas of energy. Okay, for example, the theory of relativity of Albert Einstein. Okay, if we relate to the law, okay, or the equation E is equals to mc squared, where E is the energy also. Then you can equate that also to that equation, which is force times distance. Okay, like that, and then you can create your own, like that. Okay, E is equals to mc squared. Okay, this is basic in physics episode or science. I'll just read this because the instructors before, they will never emphasize this much. Sorry, I will tell you, they will never emphasize this much, especially they rely on the students' effort to research some basic concepts. Okay, they would rather go to their, what is, do you call this one? Lesson, like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lesson plan. Okay, they will just discuss based on the lesson plan, something like that. Okay, or the coverage, like that. But they will never go to the details. It's up to the students already. Okay, like that. Okay, so E is equals to mc squared, wherein m is the mass of the object. Okay, and c is the speed of light at a vacuum. So, do you know that the speed of light is always 3 times 10 to the 8 meter per second? Standard, okay? Then if you do not memorize the speed of light, how can you compute the mass of an object? Okay? Like that. Then you can equate that to the force times distance because you know that it is also energy. Then you can equate the two equations. You can get the distance through that equation, even though the given is in terms of velocity, like that. And your instructors are already discussing like that in his problem, in your problem solving. Because it doesn't reach to that. It's just connected only. Okay, so the point here is pushing the students to be resourceful, that not to be dependent always by the instructor and the mentor and the professor or the doctors, something like that. Doctors in education or like a certain profession, something like that. Okay? And there's also another example. There are 2 more examples of energy also. Energy is equals to in the ideal gas law or in the ideal gas laws. We have also E is equals to 3/2 times the number of moles times the universal gas constants times T. Okay, the kinetic molecular theory in gases. And you can also equate that there to the theory of relativity, to force resistance. So we have now 3 formulas of energy. Okay, and we have also the last one. Okay, energy. Another thing is through thermodynamics. You know thermodynamics? Okay, this is more complicated because heat is considered as an energy. As I discussed a while ago, there are different kinds of energies we encounter in our daily lives. We have the electrical energy, the chemical energy, the mechanical energy, okay? The radiant energy, heat of the sun, okay? A lot. Now, heat is one form of energy. You can also equate that to the energy by the mc squared by Albert Einstein, by force times distance, like this, by the kinetic molecular theory. We have, okay, like that. Okay, so we have, Q, which is heat, is equals to mc PdT, mass times the specific heat of the water or whatever substance that change in temperature, T. Now you can, Q, it is also the same as energy because the unit of Q is always, is also sometimes joules. Okay, the same as the other formula. So you can equate that one. Okay, and then the problem will state that in the problem that he will include also the heat sometimes like that. And then your instructor not discussing that in his lesson. So you will be the one to connect the formulas. Okay, like that. Just like in the PV and RT gas law, okay, it talks about gases only, but then the question asks, how many tiles should be installed in the toilet? It's very far, right? It's very far from the gases, but you can answer that it's because surface area, okay? Surface area of the toilet, area is equal to pi d squared over 4, something like that, on the diameter, and you can compute how many pieces of tiles, okay, through that force times distance, okay? Okay, like that. You understand the point? Okay, pressure is equal to force over area. Too much, really. Right? Pressure is equal to force over area, and this pressure is formula of the ideal gas law. You have to insert that in the ideal gas law. Okay, then there is an area, right? So the area of the toilet, pi d squared over or whatever is the length times width. Okay, length times width, like that. Or if it is a square, it should be s squared raised to the power 2. Like that. The area of a square, area of a rectangular. So your toilet will be square, then use the formula of area in terms of square. If your toilet is rectangular, then use the formula area in terms of rectangle. Okay? And then insert that in the pressure is equals force over area. Okay? And then you can get also, even though the problem is gases, related to gases, see how tricky the problems are. Okay? So you will not rely only to the examples given by your instructors. You should research further and go to the library. Okay, at any time t. Any time t, meaning during your break time. Okay, like that. Okay. The power of the memory is the stock knowledge. Okay, basic stock knowledge. Okay, meaning it will retain to your brain for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. It will never lost until you die. Until your last breath, you know that density is equal to mass over volume. Okay? And you know that acceleration due to gravity is equal to 9.81 meters per second squared until your last breath. You understand? That's the power of memory. Okay? Even though you are now aging at the age of 100, you can still remember that what is the formula of area? Pi d squared over 4. Because the brain is very powerful. Okay? The nutrients we take from the food will go to the brain and very powerful, right? Okay? Okay. How much, too much talking for only one problem, only one question. How many horsepower? Okay. Horsepower is 746 kilowatts. By the way, God, I always, ask the presence of the Lord. That's why, by the way, God, I speak like that. Okay. Number 4, look at this. How many horsepower is 746 kilowatts? Since you have now 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts, and then you can do the ratio and proportion, or simply the conversion. It's just the same. By the way, you can use only ratio and proportion technique if it has the same relationship, okay? But you can never do the ratio and proportion if it has not the same relationship, certain the same reference point or reference variable. You know what I mean? Like that. But here, it's okay because all are horsepower and the watts, and you can ratio proportion this one. Okay? 1 horsepower is equal to, let's prove that also. 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. And then, horsepower is unknown, is equal to 746 kilowatts. This one. I tried the ratio and proportion. Okay, 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. Then, how much horsepower if we have 746 kilowatts? Ratio and proportion. Okay? So, 1 horsepower to 746 watts. Usually ratio and proportion doing the crisscross multiplication. Crisscross in mathematics. Like this. Choo, choo. During the crisscross, you have to multiply both sides, the left and the right, something like that. Okay? And then, since horsepower is the one we are trying to find out, we let X as the horsepower to be computed. In mathematics, you always do like that. Let X the value of blah blah blah. Let Y the value of blah blah blah. So that you can solve the X and Y through using the different correlation of different equations and formulas. Something like that. Always letting X, letting Y, blah 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 blah, so and so. Okay? Remember that even in chemistry, always like that also. Let X the value of moles or whatever, the number of blah blah blah. So that you can solve what is being asked. Okay? Let that. Okay. So let X as the horsepower we try to find out. So X over 746 kilowatts. Sometimes, if you are already expert and good in this, I'm not good, okay? I'll tell you, I'm not good in mathematics, okay? I'll just gain it through acquired knowledge. You know, acquired knowledge, meaning to say, I use effort and initiative to memorize, blah, 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 so and so, and I analyze with my own. It's totally different if you have a high intelligence quotient, IQ, even though you will not memorize, okay? Even though you don't have an effort or to have acquired knowledge, but your brain is very fast to remember everything, what you read, what the instructor discussed. So that's the difference, okay? Like this. Okay? So solve for the value of X, crisscross. Okay? Like this. In engineering course, we found also bored because we keep on repeating too much problems. Same formulas all throughout in our course. Whether you're electrical, mechanical engineering, same thing. All formulas will always keep on repeating until you reach on the 5th year college. And then in your board examination, it's still the same. Repeating. And there are complicated formulas and equations, then the basics are always there. Okay, that's why there are prerequisite subjects. That's the purpose for that. Okay, so that you can understand the complicated one. You will never jump because you cannot understand if you are not taking the basic subjects that is related to the higher subjects. Prerequisites in the curriculum, something like that. Okay. This one. So you're gonna solve the value of X. The value of X is equals, I don't have too much because that's too much. So, understood na siya, gaanan na ko siya, understood na to siya na you should multiply this like this and multiply like this, okay? So, okay, another thing also, kilowatts. Again, this is another headache for engineering students. Too much prefixes in mathematics, okay? Kilo, centi, deci, okay, mega, micro, pico, nano, hepta, deca, octo, hepta, nano, mega. That's why we have mega shout out to for watching the video. That's derived from mathematics. Mega meaning 10 to the 6. Okay? 10 raised to the power 6. Or meaning to say I can also say in my live streaming, giga shout out for watching my live streaming because there's also giga, 10 to the power 9. Sharon Conita is a mega star. Okay? There is also giga star, more than mega star. So who's that giga star? Because that is higher than mega. Okay? We have also pico star, because that is that raised to the power 12. Something like that. It's the power of mathematics. Okay? 10 to the 3 kilo. So, kilo star. Okay? If you have the mega star, it is possible we have the kilo star, centi star, pico star, nano star, giga star, centi star, deci star. It's not only applicable for meters. in the first place. Okay? If we try to use the terms, okay? Giga shout out to everybody for watching my live streaming. I'm not using the mega shout out. Okay, because the mega is 10 to the 6 only. I used higher, 10 to the 12. So I must use giga shout out to everybody. Okay? That's info. Okay. It's being arranged in mathematics 10 to the 2, 10 to the 3, 10 to the 4, 10 to the 5, 10 to the 6, 10 to the 7, 10 to the 8, 10 to the 9. And the negatives also. 10 to negative 1, 10 to negative 2, 10 to negative 3, 10 to negative 4. Okay? 10 to negative 3 is, I think, that is, anybody? I think micro. Okay, like that. 10 to negative, like that. Too much. Okay? So this connection is 746 kilowatts man siya. Oh. Okay? So I will convert the 746 kilowatts into watts. Okay? Right? So times 10 to the 3. 10 raised to the power 3. Okay? So like this. 746. I must add 30 because of this kilo. See, if you have no idea for that, problem also. Okay. 746, 000 watts. Okay? Like that. Divided by 746 watts. Okay? And then horsepower here, cancel. Horsepower will remain. Look at the equation. Okay? 746, 3, I add 3 zeros because of this kilo. So 746, okay, 1,000 watts. So you eliminate the kilo. The purpose only is to agree with the conversion factor, which is 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. And now you can solve the value of the horsepower, which is asked in the problem. Okay? Actually, you can use this conversion in your dealings, in your financial management, okay, using the basic mathematics only, okay, like that. So, mathematics can be applied in daily lives, okay, like this, especially money, okay, financial aspects. 746,000, oh my gosh. Ang saya-saya. 746 divided by 746 is equals to... Okay, you have 1,000 horsepower. Your answer. So, how many horsepower? How many horsepower is 746 kilowatts? Your answer will be 1,000 horsepower. That is question number 4. Gosh. Question number 5. Correct. 1,000 horsepower. Okay. Question number 5. What is that? Okay. Volume. Quantity. Volume. So, 1,000 gallon. How many cubic feet? Anybody? Like that. I memorized this also when I was in high school. That there is 3.785 liters in 1 gallon. Okay? And then there is 0.348 meters in 1 feet. Or in reverse, we have 3.28 feet in 1 meter. Okay? That's a conversion from meter to feet and feet to meter. Okay? Something like that. Okay. 100 gallon. Don't be afraid for this, ha? Because, oh my gosh, why gallon into cubic feet? Why like this? Okay? Again, the power of memory. Okay? Memory, all alone and the moonlight. Diba? May katahan talaga, ganun talaga yun. number is that? Number 5. So 100 gallon, how many cubic feet? So this is only high school. High school also education teach this one. And also in college, it will be repeated. That's why I told you stock knowledge. It will be repeated. Okay? So 1 gallon is equal to 3.785 liters. Like this. 1 gallon. Since you have now the liters, then you come to think that it should be going to cubic feet because your desired unit is in cubic feet. Okay? So how many cubic feet in a liter? It's very complicated, right? So since you know that is cubic feet raised to the power 3, then you have the conversion of meter to cubic feet, blah blah blah. Okay? And you can get the cubic feet. But here, no need to go with the meters, I think so. Okay? So 3.7, since 100 gallons, so you put the 100 gallons in your solution. Okay. 100 gallons. Solution, not the solution of the laboratory. No, solution here. Because there are two meanings for solution. For instance, water plus sodium hydroxide solution. It's also solution, but this one solution is meaning computation or calculation. So 100 gallon, 1 gallon is equals to 3.75 liters. I will show you later. Okay. Okay. Then 1 liter. Then this is a very important conversion in volumetric flow. Yes, in volumetric flow rate of a certain liquid or gases in pipelines, something like that. For if you're a process engineer, then you need to calculate the volumetric flow rate of certain media, meaning media it could be gas, liquid, or something that would enter in the pipeline. Okay, something like that, and with the variables of temperature and pressure. At a certain temperature and pressure, what volume of gas will go inside the pipelines, and you can compute the diameter of the outer diameter of the pipeline, the inner diameter of the pipeline, something like that, through that conversion factor. Okay, 1 liter is equals to 1,000 cubic meter. Okay, again, memorize that in your mind. Okay. I will put another useful conversion. 1 liter is equals to. We will use meter also before going to feet because we have 1 liter is equals to 1,000 cubic centimeter. This one. Ano kalibog lang na raised to the power 3. Utang buod. 1 liter is equals to 1,000 cubic centimeter. So you will read that as cubic because raised to the power 3. Okay? Now, if it is raised to the power 4, how can you call that? Again, going back to the prefixes, you can call that tetra centimeter. If it is centimeter raised to the power 4. Okay? In this situation only, centimeter raised to the power 3, that's why cubic centimeter. But if it is raised to the power 4, tetra centimeter. And if it is raised to the power 2, it could be centimeter. Oh my gosh. Dito naman siya. Okay? Like that. Okay. Or ang kanyang Sabi niyo kanina kasabi sa'yo. For cubic centimeter is cc, is also called as cc. Direct abbreviation. So this is also tricky because some problems use cc in the problems. You will mention 1000 cc will go blah 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 so on. So what is the density? And the students doesn't know what is cc because we are used to cubic centimeter, this one unit. But other problems use only cc. This one cc. Okay, but in the problem sometimes use cc, not cubic centimeter, and it will confuse the students, but it's equal in definition. That's cubic centimeter. Or sometimes they use only this q dot centimeter. This one. Q dot centimeter. So that means cubic centimeter. cc, cubic centimeter also, and the centimeter is the value 3 is the real cubic centimeter. Because the two are only abbreviation for the centimeter is the power 3 or the cubic centimeter. So this usually confuses the student. The instructor should explain this well. Okay, that is just the same. There's no such understood in mathematics. Okay, there's no such understood. It should be have reference. Why we abbreviate that way? Okay, like that. Because this is coming from the cubic centimeter. That's why cc. Okay, cubic. The first letter is c. Centimeter. The first letter is c. So that's why cc. Right? Abbreviation or acronym. Okay, and then cubic centimeter. The abbreviation of cubic, it could be Q, CU, okay? And then the centimeters would be CM. So that's why CU dot CM, that's cubic centimeter. Other problems using like this, especially old books, okay? Because it's very difficult to put raised to the power 3 in the keypad of the laptop and in the keypad of the mobile phones. Observe that one. It's very difficult to put exponential 3. That's why they rather put the words cubic centimeter, full words to make it safe. Other problems put full words, cubic centimeter, rather than abbreviating it, or rather than the formula raised to the power 3. Because in the keypad, it's not keypad in the laptop or in the mobile. It's not easy to put an exponential form. Okay, you got the point already, huh? Just like any sometimes. Okay, any and n. It's difficult sometimes. Because other gadgets have no any. Okay, and others have, especially old models. Okay, you have to shift and you can produce the any too much. Okay, it's just the same like this. Okay, so one letter 1000 cubic centimeter, and then we now perform the equation. So one letter 1000 cubic centimeter. Okay. Oh my gosh, too much. See. 1 liter, I already incorporated the 1 liter to 1000 cubic centimeter. Huh? Okay. So, since you have also the relation of 100 centimeters equals to 1 meter, okay? 100 centimeter is equals to 1 meter. I think this is taught in elementary education, the basic meters. The metric unit and the English unit. Elementary, I think grade 5 or grade 4 or grade 3, like this. Grade school level, it's already taught the conversion factor is very simple like this. 1 meter is equals to 1 centimeter, 1 meter is equals to 1000 millimeter. Okay, 2.54 inches is equals to blah blah blah. Okay, 1 foot like this. So many. Okay, so 100 centimeters equals to 1 meter. Okay. Sorry, 1 inch is equals to 2.54 centimeter. Like this. And then if you will be confused and then you forgot, then you have to review because it will be shown in you will prove it later on if you memorize the wrong way. Usually, when I was in, high school, I always reverse this 2.54 inches is equals to 1 feet, 1 inch is equals to 2.4 centimeter, or 2.4 inches equals to 1 centimeter. Always, reverse that one. That's why problem. But I think 1 inch is equals to 2.54 centimeter. Review that. Just now I recall, 1 inch is equals to 2.54 centimeter. Anybody? 1 inch is equals to 2.54 centimeter. Correct, or the reverse one? Okay. Because I don't memorize everything. Okay. I just memorize 2 times, 3 times. Last 20 years ago, 15 years ago. When you reverse, your answer will be wrong automatically. So you need to review. Okay? Okay? So, centimeter. So we now employ the centimeter. 100 centimeter is equals to 1 meter. Here is 100 centimeter is equals to 1 meter. The technique for this, guys, okay, is the numerator and the denominator unit will always cancels out. And then if it's not numerator to denominator, it's always the unit of the numerator and the unit of the denominator will cancel out. Okay? Like this. Now the problem is too much problem. Since 1,000 cubic centimeter, the unit is cubic centimeter, then you have to agree also in the conversion factor of 100 centimeter and 1 meter. So both the numerator and denominator should always raise to the power 3 so that you can achieve cubic meter. Okay? So if you have now the cubic meter, you can easily now have the cubic feet, in which we are asking for in the problem. Okay? Okay? So 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. And then this one is cubic centimeter raised to the power 3. So raise to the power 3 both the 100 centimeter and the 1 meter. So it could be like this now. Raise to the power 3. Both. Meaning both the numerator, you should multiply it 3 times by itself. Okay, so, okay? 1 times 1 times 1, 3 times. So it will become now 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter. Since there are 3 n's, so it should be trifold. So that is cubic meter. Okay? This is only going back to the basic. 100 centimeter raised to the power 3. So make it trifold by itself. 100 centimeter times 100 centimeter times 100 centimeter. Okay? And then the unit will be centimeter times centimeter times centimeter. So centimeter raised to the power 3, which is cubic centimeter, something like that. Okay? So it will cancels out now in the other side. Okay? Here. I cancels that out, huh? The centimeter, because it will become cubic centimeter. So what's left is the cubic meter. Okay. No more space. I just put it down here, huh? Continue. Okay. So we have the relation 0.3048 meter is equals to 1 feet. Okay. So we almost reached the answer. Because it is a cubic feet. Raised to the power 3, right? So 130.48 meter is equals to feet. See the relation on the arrow. 130.48 meter is equals to 1 feet. Since the cubic meter or the meter raised to the power 3, you should also raise to the power 3 both the meter and the feet. So the cubic meter will cancel after that, and what is left is cubic feet. So that will be your answer, 100 gallon to cubic feet. Okay? Okay. So 130.48 times 130.48 times 130.48, multiply by itself 3 times. It is raised to the power 3, something like that. Raised to the power 2. So we need to see how many times you will multiply by itself. Okay? Like that. And our answer is, oh my gosh. We will do the math by calculator. I have the calculator. Oh my gosh! Oh. Really? I have the calculator here. Okay, I will use this one. This is not a scientific calculator. This is an ordinary calculator for sari-sari store. Okay. So, ganun siya. Pwede na natin i-ano siya. Ano ba? We should eliminate the units already because it cancels out. Right? Only numerical numbers I will put because we know that all are cancels out and what is that's going to fit. So no need to put, it will just waste your time also. Okay, so 100 times 3.785 times 1,000. So times 1 times 1 times 1 times 100. Okay. Times 100 times 100 times 3048 times 3048 times 3048. See, it looks like this. Okay? This will be our answer now. Hi, giga shout out to Jean Gascon. Okay? For watching my live streaming. Okay, this is academic information, very educational. Okay, it's also good to sharpen our minds. Okay, to avoid aging process, something like that. We sharpen our minds to avoid aging process. Okay, like that. Okay, let's review once for a while our basic education, elementary, high school, and college. Okay, like that. So that if we have children in the future, we can teach our children. Okay, we should not depend by their teachers, instructors, professors. We should teach our children because their parents have also basic ideas for the subjects in elementary, high school, and college. So that would be a plus factor for your daughters or your sons. Oh, my mother knows how to answer this one. Even though the teachers will teach you like this. Okay? And okay? Because family is the basic unit in the society. Diba? May definition talaga, no? Family is the basic unit in the society. 80% out of your learning, the attitude, the personality, the character, okay, came from the family, okay, not in the school. Okay, it should be the family where the parents will teach first and mold the young children for their personality, character, behavior, and attitude, something like that. And they will be the first teacher above all. Okay, something like that. That's why it's very useful that we should also have an academic information. Okay? For example, I have 2 sons and 3 tutors. Then they found difficulty in their subjects, and I think we should fees for those children. I can teach them, no problem. Like that, okay? In that way, I also help their teachers. Because imagine how many students in one teacher in a classroom. Okay? Then whereas you and your son is doing the 1-to-1 ratio. Of course, your son can easily understand because the ratio is 1:1. It's not 1:50. Too much crowded in one classroom. Then if the parents are not smart, knows how to teach because he learns that also from his elementary, high school, and college, then it will be better. Okay? So this is the purpose of this live streaming, academic information inputs that we can share to anybody else. It could be our son, our daughters, like this. So in short, this content is substantial. The content is very informative, so not superficial and shallow. It's better than outing, going to the beach. This is better, I tell you frankly, than going to the beach, going to anywhere else. It's only for fun and entertainment or whatever. the game experience to different people. But this is really molding the young minds of our students through academic information, not the outing, the party, blah, 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 so on. So because that thing teaches them to be extravagant, okay? That thing teaches them to be extravagant and keep on spending their money in things that is not most important in their education. Okay? So better doing like this also once in a while. Okay? Because this is also my choice to do like this academic information. Because God gave me also this kind of talent that I must share to anybody also. Because God don't give me the destiny to become a professor and an instructor in a university. I can do also in another way around by having this. Okay? Why not? This is another platform of teaching the students also if they are just listening to me right now. Okay? And there's no talent fee for me. This is free. Okay? Only that they don't know me. I'm not popular. Okay? I'm not their blood-related individual. I'm not their uncle. I'm not their daddy. I'm not their father. That's why only few people or only one or two people watching me right now. I don't care. As long as I can share the academic information to anybody else, especially the young minds of the students, because this is academic information. This is valuable, important, and substantial. Substance. Vlogging with a substance. Okay? Very clear. That's why this vlogging is very boring. Okay? Very boring because it keeps on repeating, but the lessons are beneficial. Okay? Because it's very easy to go to the beach, go to the, like this. It doesn't think you are enjoying. All parts of your body are exercising, except for the brain. Understand? Your brain is not exercising for that. But here, giving the academic information and receive the information, your brain is exercising and enjoying. Okay? It's not your feet, it's not your foot, it's not your eyes, it's not your nose. It's your brain that enjoying. Okay? Your mind, your mental capability. That's why it is very difficult because the mind, the most difficult is the mind and the brain. Okay? The physical aspects is just easy. Okay? You can go there, run there, like as you can see, whatever. But the brain, special purpose that God created is the brain. Okay? That's why brain is the regulator of all. That's why brain comes first, heart second. Okay? When you fall in love, use your brain first rather than your heart. Okay? See? Brain is top above all, your mind. That's why we need to consider our mental health. Okay? If you are at stress, okay, then you cannot recover, you will die and you will commit suicide. So that's coming to the brain. Even though you are physically good, okay, you have a very good, you're very sexy, you're beautiful, you're pretty, you have a muscle, you're very good, like this, muscles, whatever. But then, your brain is suffering with too much stress, anxiety, confusions, and you will commit suicide because your brain is losing that. Your heart controls your brain. Okay? For example, you have a relationship and you break up with someone and then you keep on sad like this. You no longer eat like this. So if you no longer eat, there's no nutrients anymore in your brain, then you will die. Okay? If you commit suicide. This vlogging is very important, I'll tell you frankly, to those who have children, especially in high school or in college. Okay? But I admittedly accept that this vlogging also is boring. You know? Boring. Okay? Boring and very traditional. You know, because I only keep on talking without any special effects. You know my point? Without special effects like animation, there's no caption, okay? It's just plainly talking and discussing. This is very boring, but the information you gain is very useful and very substantial. Okay? Very clear? That's why I don't care if nobody watches me. That's why I told every time I keep on talking, even though nobody is listening to me. It's okay. That's me. Like what? IDC. You know IDC? I don't care. As long as I can share the talent I have, I can share the information, then that's it. Okay? But we don't want to please anybody else in this contemporary world. Because we have different choices, we have different inclinations, we have different talents, and we have also different masterpieces, right? If me is mastering singing, others also don't have that kind of talent. They're also good in, let's say, technology. Me also poor in technology, but they are very expert in technology. So we are not perfect, okay? Something like that. So work more on the things that you are a master, okay? And in things that you are enjoying the most, like that. Okay, just like that, enjoying the most what I'm doing now. Okay, go back. Okay, let's do the operation. Sorry for that. I'll just try to be, to be genuine and honest. Like that. I also ask the Lord every time, Lord, what is the vlog I will be able to discuss to my viewers like this? I always ask His guidance also. Okay? Like this. 100 times 100 times 100. Okay, times 0.34a times 0.34a times 0.34a. Okay, this is my gosh, 283,168.46 is our denominator. Okay. Again, guys, salamat sa inyong pagtanaw. Okay. Diri na ako. Charot! Okay, 283,168.46, and the numerator is 103.785 times 1,000. Oh my God, 378,500. Like this. What time now? Like this. Oh my gosh. And then the final answer will be our cubic feet. 100 gallon is equal to this after we calculate this final answer. Calculate this one. 378. 1.33. Okay, like this. Okay, 1.33. Let's review if it is correct. 1.33. Okay, like that. Let's review. This one, 1.33 is the answer, but let's review again. It looks like small, right? Sometimes, if you have the answer, why it's very small, like this. See, 100 gallon in it. How many cubic feet? It's still 1.33. In my own analysis right now. Why it's small? We should also review why. Okay? So let's recall 100 gallon, 1 gallon, and then 1 liter, okay? And then 1 meter, and then okay. So review only ha. Whereas ganina ba, we review 3 times and then we get the correct answer exactly the same with one another. So we prove it. Just like this, I'll review only. Okay? Ganon. Ato lang siyang i-review kayo. Ito kiba malong dahil in fairness. Diba? 0.028 160. Okay, ganon. Yan. 100 man siya, katulad mo siya. Charot! Kung anday siya, 1 million. Ang 100 raised to the power 3, 1 million. Ganoon. So I just put 10 to the 6, right? I put only 10 to the 6 for 1 million because it's very tired for me to put 0. I'm tired. So that's why 10 to the 6 is equal to 1 million. 6 zeros. Okay? And then this one, the proportion, like this. I'll just review to make it perfect. Charot. Three, 7,500. Ganun. 1 million. 3 times 0.02. 83168 equals 28,316. 28,316. So 378,500 divided by 28,316.8. See? Sorry, the answer is 13.37, not 1.33 because I doubt this one. The answer is 13.37 cubic feet, it's not 1.33. Okay, because I review it, it looks like very small. You could just imagine 100 gallon and it will become 1 cubic feet. Okay, too much, 1 only, 100 gallon. It looks like not really that kind of proportion. So I review it, so the answer is 13.37 cubic feet. It goes like that. Okay? Better also, we commit mistake and then we need to prove it so that also the students can learn the power of review. Okay? You need to review. So that also good always to perfect it immediately. So that the students also will learn, and this is the technique. If you are wrong, you analyze this one is very small and you have to review it again, like this, like this. It's very helpful, okay? So that is question number 5. 100 gallon is equals to 13.37 cubic feet. Okay, that's number 5. Number 6. Where's the codigo? Okay. Okay, when you also try to learn something, okay, for example, if you see problems also, and then you are interested to solve it, try to solve it first. Okay? Try to solve it first without listening to the discussion of anybody else. Okay? Okay, like me, I saw this in the YouTube video, okay? And there are 10 questions. And then, first question, I stopped and I post it, right? I did not listen to the discussion of the YouTuber or the uploader. I solved it by myself and I get the answer and then I play again and the YouTuber or the guy is telling the solution, blah blah blah. So though we have different attack of how to solve the problem, it's just the same. And he got the answer, I got also my answer, and then correct. It's just the same. Meaning the answer is correct because it's the same with him, something like that. Okay, so 8 out of 10. Okay, my score. So 2 is a mistake. So I only got 80% out of 100. It's not perfect. So it shows I'm not really good at mathematics, okay? But average. Okay. My mistake is on the, I don't know that unit, and the other one is this one. This thing. I answered 1.33, and the answer is 13.37. I my gosh, how full am I? It's just the same. At least I prove it. Okay, that's the most important thing. Okay? Number 6. Ano ba itong mga question dito? Number 6 pa eh. Ang layo pa, no? Okay, ito. Pendulum problem. You know the pendulum problem in physics? Okay, actually, when I encountered this in YouTube, in the video I saw, I come to think, oh, I forgot this one. I forgot really, 100%. How can I solve the pendulum problem? Like the pendulum. So in physics, it's clearly discussed, but I forgot the formula, really, 100% sure. And I come to think to another formula, like this. Okay, I'll tell you. A 7 kilogram ball is suspended in a rope. Okay, 7 kilogram ball. You know ball? Mega shout out to Jen Gascon. Thank you so much. God bless. Okay. 7 kilogram is suspended in a rope. What is the tension in the rope in SI unit? Social. Kailangan pa talagang ibanggit yung SI unit. Kaloka ka. The problem means asking for SI unit, meaning English unit. The feet, like this, the pound, like that. Really specifies what asked. Okay? Alright. Pendulum, like the ball is hanging, something like that. My gosh. Okay. Because in physics also, though the physics it looks like, for me, physics is look like easier than chemistry. For me. Because in physics, it's more about physical aspects, not on the details of the, the molecules, the protons, like this, the electrons, that you cannot see those, how small the atoms are, and there are still more lesser than the atoms, and there is still more lesser appearing in the nucleus, outers, in the nucleus like this, the orbitals, the energy orbitals, like very difficult to study those stuff that you cannot see. Okay? That's why a lot of chemical engineering will fail because too much studying with imagination, too much really. And then the students that have too much time will normally pass. Too much time, more preparation. For me, it doesn't matter how intelligent you are, though it is plus factor, but if you have too much preparation, okay, then you can answer the most. But too much practice, too much reading of the books, too much, daily alatul, like this, going to the library, reading books, memorize terminologies, like that. I did that when I was in my college years. I always memorize shun, like this. A lot of shun in the science, condensation, sublimation, evaporation, crystallization, evaporation. All shun, I memorize. At least in the board examination, there are also shun being come out. It's impossible, right? Because that's chemical and separation processes. Okay? Sublimation, condensation, evaporation, like that, crystallization. Okay? All shun, distillation. Okay, memorize the basic definition and then understand the formula. Okay, like that. Because the teachers will no longer no more straight like this. Okay, because for the reason that it is self-explanatory already. Okay, like that. Further, that is the reason, and it will take time also to discuss in a simpler thing. That's what we think, or most of us think, because that is understood or more self-explanatory. No need to expound, right? Correct. Especially if you are time pressured. Okay, I have a subject known as quantitative chemistry, okay, qualitative chemistry, or let's say I have botany, zoology. My subject is zoology. Okay, and then I will not go to the details. I'll just go to the most important part. You leave the students to go to the most basic part. In which, dapat pala siya, the instructor would discuss the most basic of that definition so that they will understand, rather than fast going to the most complicated one, and they will be confused somewhere along the way. Okay, like that. That's what I've learned. Okay, it's really to do it, in a spoon-feed manner, or let's say in a systematized manner, an organized fashion, in a detail, something like this. This comes from this comes from why. We always put why in your discussion. You know why? Why? Because why is an intelligent question. Why? How? Why? How? Like this. It helps the students to think what it arrives to certain, terminologies or laws or equations, blah blah blah, so on. Okay? That's it. Okay, where we are now. Too much talking. I forgot. Pendulum, right? Okay. Oh. Time check brought to you by Power Kalaskan. 96.3 W Rock. On. Okay, 7 kilogram. Kulbaan ko. Okay, bilisod mo ko ano po. Charot lang. Number 6. I don't like also this type of, I don't like in the algebra, the clock problem. I don't like that one. Clock problem, pendulum problem, age problem. I don't like also that. Okay? I don't like that. But I'm forced to study that because it will come out on the exam, the prelim, the midterm, the finals, like this. You need to force so that you will pass. But it means that I don't like those topics. Okay? And then it will come back again in the board examination. Too much headache. Though only small come out, but still there. The most topics you hated, it will always also come out. Really, you have no choice. Still, you have to study that. And then also in the unit operations, I don't like also the chemical reaction engineering. Too much difficult also. Dealing with the reactors, too much headache. Nuclear reactors like that, too much. Very difficult to deal with. Gosh. Number 6, a 7 kilogram. That's why I don't like also to discuss, to choose integral calculus and differential calculus, because I don't like the squared, cube like this. I don't like also that. Too much formula like this, etc. I don't like also, I will get confused. I will confuse. I can answer, but it takes time for me to understand something. Okay? Because I'm not good in mathematics. A 7 kilogram. Where is that? Is suspended. Suspended in a row. Oh my gosh, may ganon. Okay, what is the tension? See? Problem. Because tension is a term interchangeably. What's that? Interchangeably replaced with the force. It could be either the tension or the strain, like in the strength of materials or engineering mechanics. Tension, like this. You know that one? Like this, going down the force. There's a beam, force going up, going down, like this. But some that's like this, blah blah blah. Going down, some of the force going down, some of the force going up, like this. And here is the centroid, like this. Too much. For civil engineering, that's their nature. Okay. Tension, strain, tension, like this. Force, tension, force. What is the tension? See? This is basic mathematics, but asking for tension. What is the tension in the row? Okay? In the row. In SI. Okay, this is it. Okay? Take a look on the paper. Question number 6. Okay? A 7 kilogram ball. Not sure ball after the 7 kilogram ball. It could be a jackstone, a marble, or long tennis ball, or anything as long as it's a ball. Or basketball, volleyball. volleyball ball, basketball ball. Okay. It's suspended in a rope. What is the tension of the rope in SI? Okay. As I said earlier, I don't like to discuss this in a pendulum type explanation. I consider the second law of Isaac Newton. You know, remember that one? Three laws of Newton. Three laws of motion discovered by Isaac Newton. You know Isaac Newton? The law of inertia, the law of acceleration, and the law of free falling body. You know, free falling body, like the apple is falling from the tree, and then you have to account the acceleration due to gravity, something like that. Okay? So I use second law of Isaac Newton. I don't use the pendulum. Okay, because well, if I can review that one, I can understand, but it's not in my stock knowledge. That's why I prefer to use the Newton's law of motion. Okay, in physics. Okay. By the way, physics is the branch of science that deals with the study of matter and energy. Okay, put that in our minds. Okay, it's a branch of science that deals with the study of matter and energy. And what are those matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass or weight. Okay, and what is the energy? Energy. Okay, energy is the product of force times distance. Okay, like this. Energy means there is a kinetic energy involved. You know, in kinetic energy, when you move from one point to another point, you can have a kinetic energy. Okay? But if you are just staying in the chair, me is sitting in the chair, I have the potential energy. Okay? Potential and kinetic energy. So potential energy meaning at rest, okay? And kinetic energy during to the movement. So you covered a distance. So that is a kinetic energy after the motion. Okay? Of your motion in going there. You covered a distance after the motion in going there. It could be stepping, it could be running, it could be jogging, or it could be biking, or anything as long as you have covered a certain distance. So you have a kinetic energy. Okay, like that. So that is energy. So more about energy. So about speed of the car, that's also energy. As I said, kinetic energy and potential energy involved there. So that's physics all about. Okay, matter and energy. Okay? So meaning to say, matter, meaning the gas, you know, gas, is involved also in the motion. So, like this, blah, 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 so on. So no need to discuss further for that. Okay? Like, so tension, I would say directly na, tension, for sure. Okay? Tension is force. Okay? Diba naalala na? Ganon. Okay. In our elementary or the high school, the basic definition of force is just like this. It's a push or pull, right? Remember? Push or pull is force only, like this. A push, pull. That's true. Because it can be equated to tension and stress also. Okay? When you pull, okay, I think there is tension. When you push, there is strain. I don't think so. Civil engineers are very good at this topic, okay? Tension and strain. But I think so. Not really sure. Okay, tension, but sure ako, the tension is a force. Tension and strain is a force. Okay? This one, F. Capital F means force. Or tension. So, now I can solve for the tension because I equate that as a force by theory and principles behind physics. Okay? So, force, I have the formula for force, okay, it's equals to mass times acceleration by the second law of Newton. And the other one will be in terms of the gases, which is pressure is equals to force over area, then force is equals to pressure times area. So equation 1 and equation 2, like this. You will derive something like this. Okay. I have two formulas for the force. First is the mass times acceleration, the second law of Newton. and then the other one will be that pressure is equals to force over area. Okay, and force is equals to pressure times area. Now the problem is not dealing with pressure. Common sense. It's not dealing with pressure in a certain area. So automatically you can neglect this second formula or the second equation as you wish. Okay, like this. Or we don't know, we can use it. We analyze what we cannot use this initially. Okay, like this. And we can use the first one because there is a mass given by a ball, the 7 kilogram. Okay, and you will ask me, Sotero, there's no acceleration. There's acceleration, we have constant acceleration, which in terms of 32.2 feet per second squared in SI. Remember, the question asked for SI also. Then you can easily put the 32.2 feet per second squared as an acceleration with that formula F is equal to mass times acceleration. Okay? This linear equation only or shift solve equation you can directly substitute. Okay, or linear equation in algebra dealing only with x plus y blah blah blah. You can add immediately later. No raised to the power 2, raised to the power, no exponential at all. Okay, that's linear equation or shift solve problem. Shift dash solve, meaning direct. No need to to pasikot-sikot. Exponents, blah, 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 x, y, no, it's not like this, okay? This is direct, okay? And I will substitute now. Gosh. So 7 kilogram, mass is 7 kilogram. Okay, acceleration is, since, okay, andito na naman tayo, kay nako. Our mass is 7 kilogram. Normally, the students will use that in terms of the acceleration due to gravity in meter per second squared, right? Because this is partner. The partner of meter is the grams, metric, okay? And the partner of the SI are the feet and the pound, something like that. Partnership, okay? That's why 32.2, okay? Like this. Okay, 9.81 meter per second squared. This one, right? Oh, I use the metric. The acceleration due to gravity A is represented as acceleration. You know, A, small a, represented as acceleration. So if you talk about motion, there's another formula of acceleration also. We have the velocity over time, dealing with motion. You forgot or not in your high school? Acceleration is equals to velocity over time. Then speed is equals to distance over time. The very basic one again. Acceleration is equals to velocity over time. Okay? And then speed is equals to distance over time. What's the difference? The velocity is considering the magnitude. The direction. It could be south, north, like this. Whereas the distance, it will not account for that. There's no direction at all. Only the distance covered, it's in meters. Okay? But the velocity will cover the south to north, northwest, southwest. For example, there's a low pressure typhoon coming, tropical cyclone coming in our country today, something like that. Northwest, southwest, like this, monsoon. So that would be velocity. So that is referring to the wind velocity. Wind velocity or the air velocity. We'll never say wind speed or wind speed is not because the direction is being mentioned. That's a wind velocity or air velocity, but not air speed or wind speed. Okay? Because you're talking for the wind and it has magnitude, the direction. Okay? But if it is linear only from one point to another, especially straight line, example, straight line going there to your home, going to your work area. So that is only distance, not velocity, because it is only straight. Okay, no like this, southeast, northeast, east, southwest, and southeast. Okay, there's a difference between velocity and the distance. Okay, the magnitude and the direction refers to the velocity. Okay, like that. But that is the only is the distance covered from it, of course. Okay. Now this acceleration is 9.81 meters per second squared. Okay. So multiply na namin mo siya. 7 kilogram times 9.81 directly. Times mo siya directly. Agree naman siya. Metric puro siya. Right? 7 times 9.81. So our answer will be 68.67. Now, I want you to think, what is the unit of 68.67 now? Okay. Force is equals to mass. Mass is 7 kilogram. Multiplied by the acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.81 meters per second squared. Now, this is the unit of force. This is kilogram meter per second squared. That is Newton. And now, you are wondering why Newton? Because Newton, Isaac Newton, discovered the second law of motion derived from his name. And now we know. Okay, that's why it's Newton, because Newton really discovered this in his era, like that. So that's why it's Newton, okay? And then it's kilogram meter per second squared, because it is second law of Newton, which is force is equals to mass times acceleration. Because before, long time ago, if you discovered something, your last name will be incorporated in your law or in your theory, something like that. Okay? Like that. But it depends also, because Albert Einstein, his theory is theory of relativity. Okay? But the question will just say, what is the Einstein's theory? Then your answer will be theory of relativity. But if there's a multiple choice, then you can choose A, blah, 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 B, blah, blah. But you will answer this theory of relativity. And then not enough, and the problem will say, what is the formula of theory of relativity? Like that. Or what is the equation discovered by Albert Einstein? Your answer will be E is equals to mc squared. And then if it is enough again, the problem will ask, what is C in that formula? C is the speed of light, 3 times 10 to the 8 meter per second. And what is M? M is the mass of an object at motion, something like that. What is E is energy. Oh, ganon. So you have to analyze one by one the variable of that certain formula, okay? And connect to other formulas that are sleeping. Meaning to say, it's not been touched because it was a long time ago and it's not part of the topic of your new topic. Then the instructor gave the problems. That sleeping formulas will be awakened and will be used to the formula that is presently discussed by the instructor. That's a technique for some instructors. Okay? They will give an exam that is using the formulas that they're already sleeping a while ago and let it awaken in order the students to think that formulas are connected with each other. Okay? So that we can solve. Meaning to say, the students will not be dependent only to the examples given by the instructors. They have to think deeper and deeper and deeper and analyze. There are still other forms of problems, not only the kind of problems that your instructors are discussing. Okay? Like that. You can encounter problems that you never experienced that before, something like that. My gosh. Okay. 68.67 is Newton. Okay. Newton. So we have now the tension or equals to the force 68.67 Newton. See, if I don't know that the force is tension, I could not have this kind of formula. So I will get lost. Okay? Since I have the idea that tension, strain is a force, then I have to correlate or equate that with the formula F is equals to mass and acceleration using the second law of Isaac Newton, or the second law of motion. Okay? Like this. See, it's very tricky, right? It's asking for the tension, not the force. Supposedly, if it's making easier, the question will be, what is the force in the row? What is the force in the row in SI? Okay, Newton is in SI already, huh? It's already English system. Newton, pounds, feet, that's our SI. Metric is meter, kilogram, like this, and grams, like this, kilograms, like this. Okay? So better also review what are the metric system first and then the English system first before going further in the mathematics basic conversion factors. Okay, or basic mathematics problems. Linear, we have to talk about the equation for the calculus, the integral, and the differential equation. It's engineering math. It's another, so that's too difficult. Okay, and it's not also good to share because it's higher mathematics. Okay, the majority of the viewers cannot understand further if you will just input that to you. The integral. Only engineering students can understand, right? How about the not engineering students? They cannot understand, okay, because they don't have that differential equation, okay, and engineering mathematics. Let's focus to the most simplest, okay, mathematics that the world created. So in this question, the answer is 6867 Newton, so I got it correct. Okay. Question number 7. Napapagod talaga ako. In fairness, ganun? Okay. Okay, there's question number 7 is very easy. No need, this is not a problem type. The question goes like this only. The standard acceleration due to gravity in English unit, of course, 32.2 feet per second squared. Then if you don't know that, you cannot answer because there's no open book in the examination, there's no mobile data, Google Chrome in the examination. Good if it is open book, you can answer that directly and you will scan the pages where the topic all about acceleration. But if you memorize that by your brain, immediately you can answer the 32.2 feet per second squared. That's the power of memory. Okay. Number 8. What's this? How many cubic meter? How many cubic meter is 100 gallon? The same story with 100 gallon to cubic feet, right? It's just the same if you go over it. So this is your assignment. Okay, how many cubic meters is 100 gallon of liquid? Okay, like that. So conversion only, because the liquid is not specified. Could it be a water? Could it be a calcium chloride solution? Hydrochloric acid? Okay, acetone, alcohol, crude oil, or whatever kind of liquid is that. It's not mentioned. It is not concerned with the identity of the particular liquid because it's not necessarily in the problem. Okay, asking only for the conversion, not the physical properties. Okay, it's very easy. Number 7. Okay, number 8. What's this? Oh my gosh, I think the codigo here. It's lost. This one, number 8. How many cubic meter is one steer? This is one. I don't understand because I don't encounter this in high school and college. What is a steer? S-T-E-R-E. And I was shocked when I was in the video presented in YouTube. What's that? How many steers is the cubic? I don't encounter this in high school and college. Okay, like that. And then I tried to guess. Okay, I tried to guess something and I was wrong because I don't know. Okay, and then I played the video, and he said that one steer is equals also to 1 cubic meter. Okay, since if there is 10 cubic meter, is also 10 steer like this. Even I think you encounter this one also. I don't encounter this in my college and in my high school. Steer, S TERE is a unit also of volume. Aside from liters, gallon, cubic meter, something like that. There's also one unit in STERE, STERE, which I don't understand. And it's the first time I encountered this kind of volume unit. See, first time, so it's really useful. Imagine. Okay. How many years that I did not encounter this kind of unit just now? Okay, so that's the power of reading, research, like this. Okay, and studying also. Because learning will not stop even though your age goes higher and higher. Because as I said earlier, learning is a continuous process. You have to learn daily, all of your life, something like that. You can learn, it could be an experience, okay? It could be how to deal with other people, or how to deal with complicated situations, and you have to solve to make it simpler, or it could be learning some academic information, just like this, one skill is possible to be better, or anything. Learning is a continuous process. It never stops until you lost breath. Okay, like that. And it will be helpful also. Okay, especially if you are dealing with diseases, something like that in your health. If you know that kind of disease, then you have to prevent it so that you will not be on that kind of disease, right? It's very useful academic information. That is health academic information. Okay, so that's. I have to end now because there's no more questions. Okay, left over, just like in correction, left over. Actually, honestly, those questions I solved, in which I got 8 out of 10, was past tense. Sorry, was Mechanical Engineering Board exam 1998. Who are mechanical engineers? My audience. These are Philippine Regulation Commission Board Examination, year 1998. Not mechanical engineers board exam. In the general engineering subjects. Okay? That is something 41 to 50. Number 41 to number 50, 1998 PRC board exam for mechanical engineers licensure examination. Okay? Like that. They got that there. Okay? And then the uploader also, or the YouTuber, the owner of that video also is a top-notcher. He top-notcher of the chemical engineering board exam. And he shared various techniques like this, blah, 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 and he presented some problems like this and allow you to listen. So in my case, I solved it first rather than watching to measure really the retention of my knowledge when I was in college or in high school like this. Okay, but I can still remember some. That's why I scored 8 out of this, 80% only. Okay, not high, just on the average. Okay, like this. Okay, blah 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 so and so. My gosh. Okay, so that is and the end for the basic mathematics conversion problems and questions, part 2. Okay, and as I said earlier, this is only an insertion from the chemistry topics plugins I promised you a while ago. I think next week I'll be able to discuss the periodic table. You know that? Periodic table, you know, the electronegativity, the electron affinity, the diameter, it goes deeper, the diameter of the elements, how much, the radius, and who is more stronger than the other. For example, the chlorine is stronger than the bromine, like this. So it will be pulled out, lesser electronegativity and have higher electron affinity, and the atomic mass is bigger than this one. Okay, how it arrange the atomic number, atomic mass, that's the isotopes, like that for a certain element. I think it's gonna be, I think only not sure. Okay, because there's so many topics in my head. I also like equilibria solutions. Okay, in aqueous solutions. For example, HCl dissociates to hydrogen ion plus chloride ion, something like dissociation problems. Remember that sulfuric acid will dissociates to H2 positive plus sulfate, blah blah blah, like this. Or it could be the redox equation. You know, redox, reduction and oxidation, chemical reaction, reduction, okay? Like that. Gain electrons, like this. Lost electrons. Or it could be the bonding, the covalent bonding, the non-polar covalent bonding, something like that. Okay? Or the neutral substances. What are those neutral substances? Like this. Okay? A lot of chemistry, because the chemistry are 4 units or 5 units? Oh God. 3 units. 3 units. There are 4 general chemistry 1, general chemistry 2, and then 3 units, 3 units. And then in the second semester also have, the second year have also. So there are 4 general chemistry. I think so for us. 4 general chemistry. And then there are only 2 laboratories, something like that. But there are other schools also have 5 units for the chemistry. Example, the University of St. Carlos, their chemistry is 5 units. Okay, like that. And CIT is 3 units. I don't know with San Jose, University of San Jose regulars at the time. I don't know what number of units for the chemistry also. Because there are 3, the USGR, the CIT, and the University of St. Carlos Institute that opens the BS Chemical Engineering at the time. Okay, like that. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Okay, like this. But I will never touch again for mathematics. Okay, because I'm afraid. Afraid talaga. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Shout out to those who watch my live streaming. Thank you so much. God bless everybody. I hope you can gain a better information. And then if you found out that I commit errors, just correct me, and then in a comment section, and then I will be the one to issue mistake or a correction statement or error statement to clear that out, what's been missed, okay, or what's the error I presented a while ago, okay, because I'm just a human being who commits mistakes, okay, there's no perfect, okay, in this contemporary world. Thank you so much, God bless, babush. Okay, before we end this live stream, please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to, or if you don't like the comment, okay, and then click the notification bell for some news updates of I am a senior eternal voice, specifically on academic information. Okay, I am a senior eternal voice, centers and focuses on occupational safety and health, science, and singing, and other personal belongings. Okay, that's the coverage of YT channel of I am a senior and eternal voice, but more on singing because of the name itself of my channel. I am a singer and eternal voice, like that. Okay, but I stopped for a while because there's a problem on CPR, copyright claims and issues. Okay, problem for me during monetization process of YT administrator, something like that. Okay, thank you so much for doing babush.